does it intend to really visit us? Where did it come from first? So I asked these questions in my head, and my guide said, we were last. We were last in its orbit. We were last in its stops. So tayo yung panghuling pupuntahan. And then sabi ko, why? So also, no, tayo yung huling pupuntahan. So did they come from somewhere else first? And they said yes. They 3iATLAS actually contained 3 species of alien life forms. When I tried to counter that, so parang dinodouble check ko no in a way, I tried to counter that idea, trying to send the image of how Star Trek looked like. Star Trek has interspecies of aliens inside, right? Like there's 1 or 2 of one kind of alien race inside the aircraft of Star Trek, and they were operating this whole aircraft, right? So I tried to counter that idea, like, was it an aircraft similar to Star Trek? And they said no. They were really firm on the idea that there were only 3 species of aliens on board 3iATLAS. So the division of approximate division of the count of what do you call this, life form on board 3iATLAS is like 40% dun sa first 2 races and only 20% of the third race. A remote view showed me that they were tall aliens. Another psychic remote viewer said he saw blue humanoid-like creatures, but that's not what I saw. I saw creatures who were really tall. They were indeed humanoid, but they were dark gray, and they had 2 antennas. Like they look like slugs, parang snail. Ano yung merong parang soft jelly-like. Imagine a finger na nakalagay dito sa head, ganun. So they were like very small antennas dun sa top of their head, but they were indeed humanoid. But I did not see them as blue. They were not colored blue. But the outside of 3iATLAS indeed had some marks of blue. It's a rock, so later I'll explain what I saw about the external facade of 3iATLAS. But yeah, I was shown those images. So I also asked about that, like traveling for tens and thousands of years, how is that even possible if 3iATLAS is an aircraft? And the answer was actually not quite shocking, because 3iATLAS may look like a stone, but it's alive. So it's alive with almost the same DNA as the alien inhabitants of 3iATLAS. And the reason why it's fast is because, surprisingly, or not surprisingly for some, all of the aliens on board are powering it with their telekinetic ability. So the push of 3iATLAS is actually coming from their minds. And the scan of 3iATLAS did not reveal any electrical or mechanical devices on board. So everything was natural. Natural in the sense na it's a stone. It's just a huge stone. And this was confirmed also by one of the psychics that posted their shorts on YouTube, saying that you can see 3iATLAS in a 3D version. It's just a rock. And then there were later discoveries that 3iATLAS was actually not a cylinder. It's actually a cylinder with empty inside. So hollow yung loob. Before kasi they were thinking it's like an oblongated sphere. So parang flattened, parang baguette. Ano yung tinapay, ganun. For the lack of a better description. Anyway, so, but it's actually a sphere, tapos hollow yung gitna, so vacant siya. So, That's the 3D level, but if you scan it on a 5D level or higher, then you will see the beings inside. It's not like Star Trek. Para silang part of that stone. They're just inside. Just floating inside. Hindi lumulutang basta parang inside lang talaga sila. When you scan them in a 5D level of awareness, like remote viewing, you will see na parang they're just part of that entire thing. That's their aircraft. Pero hindi sila lumulutang, wala silang tinutungtungan. So these beings might actually be able to project themselves on a third level dimension like physical, and they can also be observed on the 5D level.